Hey guys, sorry for the delay, but let's start this recap. We then see everybody outside the dungeon and they're saying, wait, what the heck? Who the hell is in the dungeon? Why did it turn into an actual hell difficulty? No pun intended. And of course, we then see we are back at the tea table outside and Meng Anwen wonders what went wrong because Ningyi's grandfather seems kind of concerned. He says, as he rubs his beard like a typical old man in an anime or manhwa, just now, a hell difficulty in the fire deity dungeon was activated. He then mentions, oh, so you're thinking that it must be that brat Linbo Yu, right? And of course he mentions, well, is he really aiming for the elemental fragments? Only by triggering the hell difficulty will a fragment have the chance to be dropped. Meng Anwen says, yeah, probably, and that kid is definitely capable of doing that. And the other old man says, I tried it when I was younger and I couldn't get it, and that's cause Linbo Yu's a goat. Anyway, Meng Anwen then says as he smiles with the tea still brewing, that kid never fails to bring us surprises, and that's something that I am going to have to agree on. We then see Linbo Yu here and he mentions, why does a fire element seems to have gotten more active? We then see a skeleton slash towards this lava hound and he even says that they got stronger. And so he sends out a bunch of them and he mentions that he has to finish this out really quickly or else his skeletons will be incinerated. He then thinks in his head of a map and he finally found it. We then see him walking and of course some of his skeletons have fallen down, but he just walks through, he just literally walks through with the skeleton armor because he's OP. And we see he finally arrived at this temple with a floating closed eyeball. The eyeball then opens up and it says, intruder discovered, and our MC just got caught in 4K. We then see there is an uproar and the ground begins to rattle and shake, and he is now going up against these guards and they are difficulty elite monsters of the hell difficulty. They are level 35 with strength of 16,000, agility and spirit of 10,000, constitution as well also at 16k, and their skills are flame sweep and they have a trait which is pretty much immune to fire elemental damage. He then says, wait, when the heck did it turn to hell difficulty? He wonders if he definitely triggered some sort of mechanism, and yeah bro, that's definitely plot armor. Anyway guys, oh my gosh, in the blink of an eye, 2 of his skeleton warriors have been destroyed, and he says it is another skill with control effects. And so he brings out his Thanatos scythe, and man, our MC really looks so cool when he brings this out. And he says come out Undead General, and yup, Undead General is here to play. We then see all the skeletons begin to receive military strength and they turn bloodlusted and they get away from the control effects, and they then slice all these guards in half. And he receives 3 crystal cores. He then smiles and mentions that because there are corpses, this is going to be easy. So he says, go and fulfill your calling. We then see the light begin to shine out these rays of light or something, and 12 of his skeleton warriors have been wrecked instantly. And it seems like a gate opens more. And our MC says great timing, because as all these monsters come towards him, well, yeah, he's just gonna use corpse explosion, guys. And before he does that though, he uses slow curse and now they are finally bound to where they are. His skeletons then snatch them up, and corpse explosion, wadoosh, and yep, all of these guys are gonna get burnt to a crisp. He then literally runs his hand through his hair. Oh my gosh, my boy should just start modeling at this point. And he says continue exploding, and we see all the explosions go off. He then finally enters the room and he mentions that the fire element is much more rampant there. And he says, what the heck is that? As he approaches this sort of lava flower, sort of, I don't know what it's called, like a decoration in the ground. I really don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, we then see there is a flower in the middle, but 2 of his skeleton warriors get swept up by the lava and he barely manages to protect himself. And oh my gosh, we then see a hand come out from the lava and it's going to try and touch our MC, and no, not in an inappropriate way. The hand barely misses and our MC manages to dodge because of his quick thinking and his leap backwards, and he then slides down like he is Spider-Man, but oh my gosh, it seems like he has backup as all of the mages have appeared behind him. They then use their abilities and their affinity for magic, light, crystals, and all these other sorts, and they begin to attack the lava hand, and it seems like something begins to happen. Oh my gosh. The Fire Palace Gardener has risen up, and this is the Hell difficulty boss. He is level 36 with strength of 20,000 and constitution of 20,000, and agility and spirit is at 10,000. And although he has no skills, well, he has fire elemental damage immunity, which can be very OP. He then spots something in the middle or in its chest, and it is a flower. We then see the guy then launches up a bunch of lava sort of pits from the ground, like he's making geysers out of the lava, and he destroys our boy skeleton warriors in an instant, but he then summons out more, and he says go and find me the corpses. He then uses soul blaze on the monster, and it yells out in not arrogance, he yells out in angriness, and then he then jumps towards our MC, but our MC guys, our MC just has his hands in his pocket, and the guy then punches our MC, but of course the skeleton armor dodges it, or blocks it of course, and he mentions that I need to restrict this guy's movement, and so he uses slow curse, and the chains here look like they're doing a good job. The skeletons then jump towards this guy using all of their will to fight, and he uses corpse explosion, and it seems like he has taken quite a blow. However, we then see the guy opens up his eyes as the skeletons are about to attack, and well, it doesn't really matter because well, he just gets wrecked and all the lava flows out of him, and he has finally killed the palace gardener, garnering 2.16 million experience points, and that's a pretty good steal. He also dropped the fire key and the fire flower, and we find out that this fire key unlocks the real fire hall, and he needs to use the fire flower to awaken the fire deity. We then see the items come into his hand, and something happens. It seems like rocks form in the lava path, and this is where he needs to go next. And he then begins to sweat, saying, this hell difficulty is unclearable without bringing 4 or 5 supports, because there's so much lava here, and he even mentions that the fire element is way too strong for him to well endure. But thanks for the skeleton armor, well, our boy can do anything. We then see the floating eyeball, and he says, wait, that is a giant flaming eye above the palace. And oh my gosh guys, the eye comes back into the rocks, and it seems like there is a monster that, oh wow, this is a Cyclops guys. It is a lava giant Cyclops, which is the actual leader, level 38, strength of 25,000, agility and spirit of 10k, constitution 25k. He has a fire laser of death, lava ejection, and volcanic eruption, and his trait is that he has fire elemental damage immunity and fire elemental skills power enhanced. And look at this dude standing in front of our MC, but yeah, our MC just looks so cold, and he's not even scared, and he doesn't even back up at all. He mentions it's not named as a fire deity's monster, so why is it a lava giant? He wonders if this is a different type of dungeon. And then he says, wait a second, it looks like clearing the fire palace is a prerequisite mission of the fire hall, and our MC is thinking of the things that he has obtained. He then says, well, let's come on guys, let's just skip the talking, let's go to the fighting. And the Cyclops uses the fire laser of death, and 5 of his skeleton warriors get incinerated just like that. And just saying guys, like, I wonder if our MC is going to upgrade his skeletons because, well, they just been getting wrecked recently. Anyway, our MC skeleton armor even begins to shatter, and he says I need to fix this first, and it looks like his skeletons are unable to fight with the boss. He says, it's time to end this quickly. And oh my gosh guys, he brings out the Ghost King, and this is the first time we're seeing him. Yo, look at this guys, he is a dead spirit, level 39. He has strength and constitution of 25k, agility of 20,000 as well. He has nihility, bewitch, lifesteal is really OP guys, and his trait is physical damage minus 50 and holy damage plus 50. This guy's about to wreck this dude. Anyway, our MC then smirks, and he says, since I'm ending this fast, I should go all out, as we see the army of the skeletons versus this one Thanos looking monster, and yeah, or Cyclops I should say. We then see the Cyclops beam of death, like he's saying I captain, because he can't say I because he has, never mind, I'm not even going to continue the joke. But anyway, we then see try to attack our boy's spirit, but well, he uses void transformation, and it literally gets sent to the nothingness, and we find out that it's the skill where he becomes intangible. And yup, this guy is just so OP. We then see another one comes and goes right through him, and he says this bewitch skill is useless against this big guy. And we then see the big guy use volcanic eruption, and it's like they are fish in the air because, well, this is this guy's play zone. Anyway, our MC is literally stepping on the lava, and it seems like he needs to get out of here. Well, whoa, 10 of his skeleton warriors have been burned up, and 16 also of his mages have been destroyed. And our MC says he can't waste any more time. He then launches ice attacks at the golem, or at this big Cyclops, and look at his undead spirit. He literally uses his pointer finger to just point this guy like he's literally just saying boy to him, and well, that's his skill nihility, and it pierces right through his liver, and it seems like the guy falls down and he takes a hit, but as he falls down, he literally accidentally takes down 4 of his mages. Our MC uses slow curse, and the Cyclops yells out in absolute fury, and he's about to use the Kamehameha from his mouth. Hey yo, and of course it's about to attack our MC, but 7 of his skeleton warriors actually block it, and 6 more mages have been destroyed, so hey, rest in peace to them. Our MC kind of looks angry right here as the skeletons begin to attack them even more, and his big captain corpse uses lifesteal on the monster, and it seems to be working as he falls on his knees. Lava then envelops him like they are doing right now or back then with tortillas, and then he uses his laser finger beam and of course cuts out the other side of the lava giant, and it seems like this guy is about to get wrecked. The captain then uses Saitama's special, just a singular punch, and yep, he falls to the ground in the lava, and sadly, just kidding, happily, he has finally defeated the leader of the Fire Palace, the Lava Giant. Our MC says that he really has to leave first, and he finally makes it out, because any longer, and he wouldn't have been able to endure all the heat and the fire inside. He receives 3.8 million XP, and guys, he received a lava staff, which is really OP, and well, he also got the fire crystal fragment, which was said to be super rare in order to drop. Yup, he gets a fire crystal fragment, and 3 fire crystal fragments can be combined into 1 fire crystal, and yup, once he gets that fire crystal, who knows what is about to happen. We are now back in the hall, and this guy then says, "The bell chimed. Ever since great deity Lin, did somebody set a new record? It's the Fire Palace." We then see the clear record. First place is Lin Mo Yu, with second place as none. Everybody mentions, Lin Mo Yu really set a new record. What the heck? Even if it was Lin Mo Yu, what happened to the previous team's record? Why was it erased? And this guy then folds his arm like he knows Lin Mo Yu or something. He says, do you guys want to know why? He says as he smiles, and oh my gosh, he winks at them. And anyway, he mentions that's because deity Lin cleared the hell difficulty, and the clear time will naturally be together, or will naturally not be together with the nightmare difficulty. They then begin to reason, saying, really, are you kidding, bro? Hell difficulty? This must be a joke. But this guy then says, check it yourself if you don't believe me. They then are looking at it, and yup, it is a fire hell difficulty clear record. First place is Lin Mo Yu in 3 hours 58 minutes, so around 4 hours, and they all mention, what the heck? The dungeon really upgraded. Isn't Lin Mo Yu way too powerful? This dude really just set up a record on a hell difficulty dungeon, and he did it 2 times faster than Nightmare dungeon. And as they're talking amongst themselves, well, Lin Mo Yu is literally just throwing up this fire fragment in the air with his hands in his pocket, his favorite pose, and he's just leaving. And he says, I will go and ask Master what the heck is the use of this fragment first. We then see in front of the dungeon, Dian Shao, are we still going to raid it? He says, yes. Why can't we raid the dungeon? Can the 12 of us not win against one person? And yeah, if it's Lin Mo Yu you're trying to beat, then yeah, you might as well give up, bro. This guy mentions that upon hearing that the dungeon upgraded, he gathered some people, and of course he wanted to beat Lin Mo Yu's record. He then sweats, and look how much he aged. This is why you guys don't get so angry, because look, you become like this guy and you age like 40 years in 5 seconds. Anyway, he's pretty angry, but the scene switches to Lin Mo Yu, and he is now in the dwelling place of Lord Bai and of course Meng and Wen. Bai then says, Lin Mo Yu, I've heard about the dungeon upgrading. It was you, wasn't it? And our MC just says yes with, look at his face, it's literally just a blank one. Anyway, he mentions, well, Master, please help me take a look at these things. And he drops the key, he drops the flower, and he also drops the fire fragments. Of course, Meng Anwen then begins to wonder, saying, fire crystal fragment, huh? He says you must have found out what happens after you gather the 5 elemental fragments, correct? He says actually the rumors are not true. He mentions that after combining the 5 elemental fragments, you will obtain the elemental divine stone. And we see it right here. I'm guessing this is fire, wind, earth, lightning, and water. And look at these guys, I'm not gonna lie, these designs look super cool. Meng Anwen mentions, haven't you already obtained the Nirvana crystal? He then explains, as we see, look at this dude, he's literally like, there's like golden like circles wrapping around this guy. But pretty much he mentions that when undergoing the 3rd job evolution, it can increase the chances of your profession being upgraded. And Lin Mo Yu says, wait, you can upgrade your profession even at the 3rd job evolution? And Meng Anwen mentions, high-level legendary professionals must undergo 2 job upgrades. The 2nd job upgrade is far more difficult than the 1st. And he says, but with the elemental divine stone, you can increase the chances by around 30%. And Lin Mo Yu then says, I see. And he says it looks like he must get a hold of this elemental divine stone, and it kind of looks like a die, or dice, however you guys want to call it. Meng Anwen then mentions though, as for where is the real fire hall or how powerful the fire deity is, we don't know either. You would have to explore it for yourself. And of course, Lin Mo Yu then bows down saying, thank you master, and I will take my leave. Meng Anwen then says, why didn't you tell the kid? Didn't you visit the Lightning Palace before? He then explains that that was more than a decade ago, during the Great War with the Demon King. And he says, I saw it on the 8th battlefield, but it disappeared after they finished the battle. And Lin Moyu is still too weak right now, and after he grows stronger, he will let him search for it on the 8th battlefield. And oh my gosh, if Lord Bai says that it is way too strong for Lin Moyu, then I imagine how hard it is for all the other students. But really, I'm really excited to see Lin Moyu finally take this on. He then says, as for the mysterious Holy Light Palace, I've never seen it before, so of course it is only Lin Moyu that can depend on it, or he can only depend on Lin Moyu on finding it. And Lin Moyu then arrives at the dungeon hall, and he says, since this thing is so important, I'll farm one for both Yi Yi and sister. And of course, our boy really is generous and thoughtful. However, he notices something in the dungeon. People then come out, and he says, I was so prepared. I brought 4 healers with me and I failed. And as he is on the ground getting his breath and catching his breath, we hear, please make way, I'm entering the dungeon. The guy yells out, but of course he sees Lin Moyu, and I'm pretty sure he got an attitude change. He then says move aside with his hands in his pocket, and the dungeon cooldown has now been reset, and so he chooses a hell difficulty, and everybody is shocked. And he says, we will be watching here, let's see if he can clear the dungeon. And bro, he just cleared the dungeon, but yeah, you know what, you guys can just watch for fun, alright? Lin Moyu then comes into the dungeon, and he then wastes no time. He says, I wonder if letting the skeletons gather more monsters would do the trick. He then arrives at the front of the palace once more. He launches up the skeletons to attract the monsters, and kaboom kaboom, yup, he did a good job. He then says that fighting the lava giant after preparing the corpses will save him a bit of time, because he's just going to use corpse explosion, and yeah, our MC is just too OP. Anyway, we then see the lava giant then spawn in like he is literally the Wither or something. And of course, our boy then sends the undead captain, and yup, he uses slow curse and he's now frozen. He then throws the corpses at him, and yep, that's kind of a brutal way to attack. And of course, we then see the captain use nihility, and he just points at him like he did something wrong, and this guy is about to get wrecked. And yeah, our MC really is speedrunning a hell difficulty dungeons of the Fire Palace. I really can't wait for our MC to get way stronger. Hey guys, make sure to comment down the word fragment if you made it all the way till the end. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to check out these other recaps here as well. And right now, I'm going to be uploading way more, so make sure you guys stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next recap.